So where have I been and why is my hair wet? Well, I just got done from a shower. Late night shower. It's been a insanely 2 days. I did not come to you last night because I was so depressed after watching Married at First Sight USA. I don't see any of these, well, maybe Amelia and Bennett, but I don't see any of the couples making it other than them. Honest to God. And that got me so depressed I decided not to do a video last night. Tonight, I did watch Married at First Sight Australia. And it's not looking good for them either. I'm hoping and praying that things turn themselves around, but honestly, I don't think they will. Of course, anymore I've become more of a realist than a romanticist. It seems like that all the romantic times happen in movies and books, and that's where romance exists. Anyway, if you said, Donna, your voice is raspy, you're right. It feels like I have swallowed 10 bugs tonight, but there's probably a good reason for that. I decided to go outside and saw on a tree today and a bush. So I had so much anger. I just had to get it out. And that was the best way to get my anger out. So, let's start with, last night there was nothing really major to tell you. That's why I didn't come to you. Today, I'm just going to run down details of my day off. I do work Friday, Saturday. I'm off Sunday, Monday. Now I know why I chose to take Monday off. I wanted to get everything situated and ready for fall. That was my plan, but now I have more tree cutting in the future. We'll get back to that in a minute. Today we started off with, okay, Donna's got to go pick up her car. So we went there, paid for it. They did an awesome job. I got a good speech by, okay, you're down to having one tire that has, well, the new good used tire has never had anything done to it, so that's good. But he was saying one tire on the back end that has not been patched. The front tire on this side has been patched. This tire now has been patched. This one has not. And this one's brand good used up here. And I told him, well, we just got to make it to Christmas. He goes, let's hope we make it that long. I said, agreed. So then paid him, came home, thought, get the animals and go to the vet. Well, Sam hides. So the only one that goes to the vet is Peanut. That did not make me happy for a lot of reasons. So then, after that experience, I'm like, okay, let's bring the Peanut home. We searched and searched for Sam, which he never showed up. And it was very disheartening, and I was worried. So something told me, okay, Donna, you haven't had breakfast, you haven't had lunch, you got to have something. So I decided to fix myself one of those smashed potatoes, and lo and behold, from beneath the china cabinet, here comes Sammy. I didn't even think to look behind the china cabinet, but he got behind the china cabinet. So anyway, I was glad to find the cat, but Grandpa decided at that point it was just, he didn't want to take Sammy this month. And I said, oh, well, that's wonderful. Not. So I'm getting anger, okay? See the little anger building up here? And I knew the mail was coming soon, so we get the mail. I get so much more good news, not that my Globe Life Insurance is due, so I got to pay it. But meanwhile, I call the bank and I find out that my Blue Cross Blue Shield has already been paid, that they decided to send me another bill just to get more money. Isn't that nice of them? I would love to send them a bill for the big inconvenience they have been to me. But anyway, that's just me. So at that point, I decide, okay, we've got all this stuff done. We've got to go take these videotapes to Goodwill that my mom brought up here, which we did. I do a little shopping, not much. Get done there, decide to come back home. As soon as we get back home, I don't know what got into me. Maybe I just thought, I can take on the whole world. Watch me. And I wanted to prove to the city of Mattoon that you don't make a list because you're not promised tomorrow. And that you get out there and you have actions that speak louder than words. So my mom wanted the bush by the alley trimmed. I did the best that I could. I know she wanted more off of it, but I really did the best that I could. And 2 years ago when I trimmed it, they're all like, you killed the bush. And I was like, hey, I did the best I could. So without a chainsaw, B, an old-fashioned clippers. I think I did pretty awesome out there, just saying. Well, then I looked at the tree and I kept hearing Grandpa's words in my head about, that those branches are going to fall on a car, and then the city of Mattoon's going to have to buy a car. And I thought to myself, you know what? They would probably not buy anybody a car. They would probably find the cheapest car they could if they had to buy a car, and they wouldn't help anybody out because they haven't helped anybody by removing the tree that they said they would put us on the list, and it wouldn't be now that they would do it. They'd be in 2 years. And the more I stared at that, the more I thought, well, by golly, I've got a tree trimmer in the shed. I am going to go to town. Yours truly went to town. I went out there and I got the first one down like that. Took it out to the boulevard, and I mean dragging that big thing out to the boulevard. So then the second one was a little bit more complicated because it didn't want to let loose of the tree. And I'm like sawing from this side, then stupid me walks underneath the tree limb, but thank God it was still attached. And I take the saw with me, and I saw it from the other angle, and by golly, it cracks. That was the best thing ever. Meanwhile, before the sawing of the tree, and I'm on the bush now, mind you, working on the bush, Grandpa hollers at me, hey, the guy is coming to look at the water in the basement, and he'll be here any minute. So I wait for him before I do the tree, and I said, now, where is this coming from? He's like, well, this isn't my fault. You need to call the plumber. I said, well, the plumber said he'll be here tomorrow. He's too busy today. He goes, oh, that's bad. He's like, that's probably backup. He goes, that's what I would call it. At this point, I'm flustered. I'm angry because the basement did not look like that before they all decided to work on it. I had it sparkling clean, and here they come ruining my sparkling clean basement. So needless to say, I was not very happy. I'm still not happy about it. Meanwhile, that's where the anger came in for doing the tree. And all of Grandpa's words about the tree limbs and how they were going to fall on people's cars. Because my mom drives an SUV, Kenzie drives a little Cruise, and Aunt Penny, it seems like aunt more than cousin, drives a Ford extended Bronco-like thingy. So I'm like going, yeah, we don't need anybody's paint any scratched or any damage or limbs falling on it from bad weather, yada yada. So I go to town, and I wanted to prove that you don't make a list, you get it done. The first limb was very easy. The second limb, after sawing it 2 different directions, was quite a bit bigger than what I had originally planned. And I was even joking with some of our neighbors across the street, and I said, I think I've cut off more than I can chew. And she's like, yeah, but you're doing an excellent job. We're just in awe. Meanwhile, the other neighbors across the other way, when he got home, he came over and offered to help, and I said, I would appreciate it. So he literally came over with his John Deere mower and a chainsaw. And I'm thinking to myself, why did he come over here with a mower? You can't mow it down and cut off a tree. So he then tries to use his chainsaw, and it just wouldn't work. And he goes, I was afraid of this. And I'm thinking to myself, oh no, what's he going to do? So he gets this big chain, and he puts it around the branch of the tree. Well, not the branch, like the base of the big part of the tree that I cut off. And he goes, I'm going to tug this thing out to the curb. And I thought he was joking, or he wasn't going to be able to do it. He did. He took that whole thing and put it by the curb. It was pretty amazing, actually. I didn't feel like shopping tonight, so we didn't go anywhere. Came home and watched some TV, and then I was like, okay, I still got a little bit of laundry to do. I got this and this to do, but I've got to get a shower. So I took a shower because, A, I didn't know if I was going to be able to take one tomorrow or not because, you never know when the plumber's going to show up. A. B, I'm working tomorrow. So I got this out of the way, didn't have to worry about it. And I am a little bit upset about the Married at First Sight stuff, so I'm going to make a video separate for that. Trying to do that separately. My voice is coming and going. I know it's allergies, so don't anybody go tripping and thinking it's anything else. It's just allergies. But I just feel a little under the weather, that's all. And I am getting better from my other situation. Yay! So that's wonderful news. But the bad news, of course, is that I did all this work today, and I should send Mattoon a bill for all the hard work I did on their tree out here on the boulevard, because honestly, this is stuff that they could get done in one day. They could get the whole dang tree down and hauled away in one day. Rather than make a stupid list, rather than work on anything else, if they really wanted to, they could get trees down without making a list that goes on for eons. Really, that's what they should be doing. I don't understand why they're not. But we're on the list for this tree to be removed in 2 years, if I don't have it down before then. Because honestly, when you make me that angry, and there's 2 lines that come to the house also. It's not just cars that, branches could fall on, which, by the way, driving by, these people drive by. They see a big limb and little old me out there with a saw, and they're driving by instead of either avoiding the street or coming and saying, hey, would you like some help like the neighbors did? Which you would have thought they would have said, hey, do you need some help? No, not one person stopped. They drove by on purpose when they could have drove down another dang road. Just saying. That's my rant for the night. Anyway, I've come up with a plan for Christmas. We'll just cover that real quick before I do the Married at First Sight thing. My plan is this. I want to do 2 gifts per person. So, like, I would give 2 gifts to, say, my mom, 2 gifts to Grandpa, 2 gifts to Kinsey, and 2 to Cousin Penny. And I've got it all planned out. The first gift is going to be a gift that the person, like myself, say, to Grandpa would want to buy him because they thought of them. The second gift would either be a gift card that they want from somewhere, or something within reasonable budget that one can afford, and go from there. The reason I came up with this plan is because the SUV is going to get new tires. That's what I plan to buy myself for Christmas. So I want to be able to buy the tires and get everybody's Christmas bought. And of course I always do odds and ends for everybody else that I need to, and be able to have a little bit of money ahead. I know that may sound horrible, but this is 1 year I've got to do this. So that's what I'm thinking of. So, not doing too bad there. One of my friends said, well, are you set in case, Ryan Pavey comes to the door? If Ryan Pavey comes to the door, I have a whole sack of gifts that I buy every freaking holiday because I have this romantic heart, and I put a gift aside after I wrap it, and I put it aside, and if need arises that I need a gift that I don't have one, I get in that bag and get an extra gift. But that bag is purposely set aside for just in case the impossible happens, if you catch my drift. Anyway, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and do Married at First Sight review next. It's not that great, folks, but if you want to tune into it, go ahead.